Hi everybody, hope you are there. I am working on bringing y'all up here. Let's see if I've got ya so that we can kind of get this ball started here. Not sure if I have this really the way I want it. Sorry if you see my hand there. There we go. That's much better. Let me bring you up on my, let's see here, bring you up on my screen. And let's see. Hi Dolly, it's nice to see y'all. How is everybody doing tonight? Just gonna see if I can figure this out. Just need to, we need to share this onto my page and Wreath Creators. But how's everybody doing? How's the weather where you are? Go ahead and tell me how it is. It's snowy here. We had snow yesterday, but okay, I'm gonna get you back up here. All right, great. So this is what I promised. Do you remember the last live I did? And it was the American kind of patriotic wreath. And I remember me showing you this fabric, and I had just started the process of this. Well, I finished it, I posted it, y'all seemed to like it. I did the center out of yarn, as you can see. I'm gonna put that up close. And I sprayed it. Now, I sprayed it with the Rust-Oleum, and I'm hoping to get this the right way. Is that showing you? Okay, I hope I did this the right way, because I tried to flip the reverse thing action that was going on last time. But this is what we're going to be doing, but with a different fabric. I was at Hobby Lobby, and I saw this fabric, and I've been admiring it for a long time. And so they had it, and it's just really pretty. And I thought I should make a wreath out of this. So this is what we're going to do tonight, is that we're going to make a wreath with this fabric that I bought. And we are going to use the yarn, this nice kind of, I don't know what this is called. I guess it's used to make those really soft blankets, but it's so nice and I love it. I'm not seeing, there we go. Now I can see everybody comments. I wasn't able to see your comments, but I really like the texture of this. And what's the key thing that we all have all across the nation and all across this world is everybody has fabric, and probably most countries have yarn. So that's the biggest complaint I hear in my Facebook group called Wreath Creators and More, is that if you're in the UK or other countries, you don't have the supplies that we have. So I want to try to teach you how to use something as simple as fabric to make your own flower wreath. So with that said, let me tell you what happened when I went to cut this fabric. It really frayed on me, and I am going to try to show that to you. I don't know if you can see that good enough. So what I did was I took Mod Podge and I put it in a plate, and I cut my squares, and I just went over the edges like this. And of course this was on, this doesn't have Mod Podge on it now, but I went over the edges like this and just let it dry. It dried very quickly. So what this square is at 11 inch by an 11 inch, because I wanted a little bit of room to trim it up after the Mod Podge went over it. Now, when I did this wreath, I didn't have to put any Mod Podge on it. This is just a 100% cotton material, and I didn't need to Mod Podge the edges at all. So just so you know, it just really depends on the fabric. So maybe cut your fabric and see what it looks like, and if it has some fraying when you naturally cut it, use some Mod Podge on your edges, and that will help reduce that. So we're just going to trim this down to a 10 inch by 10 inch square, and this doesn't have to be perfect. close to perfect. You can see I just messed that one up a little bit, but that's okay. And then, so 10 inches by 10 inches. Let's see here. I need to, yeah, that's what I need to do. And then we'll get started on putting our wreath together. We're going to use a 10-inch frame tonight. Hi, everybody. If I don't catch you, I appreciate you taking the time to watch. You're so sweet to take your time. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope this turns out. So we'll see. I think it will. The other one did. So, okay. So, see, that one is even pretty curvy, but that's okay. So, we are going to take a 10-inch wreath frame here. Take the tag off. I order these from consumercrafts.com. I believe they're $1.37 a frame for a 10-inch frame. And the shipping is usually really cheap. It's like, I think some weekends it's like $2.49 for the shipping. It's ridiculous. And some weekends if you spend more than $49, you get, free shipping. So, we are going to get this started, and we're going to basically assemble this the same way as my sunflower wreath. Now, here's the one thing that we aren't going to do. We are not going to put the third petal for the leaf. We are just using the fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the bracket. If you look at this has 5 brackets. So we're going to start on the outside bracket, and we're going to put 2 petals right here. Again, I use just the regular frames. Put your pipe cleaner or Chanel stem, and you put on one side, and then you're going to wrap it around. I do this almost the same way on every single wreath I make. So that's just what we're going to do. So we'll just start with the one we just did, and we're going to flip it over the bad side, and we're going to, I should do that again for you. We're going to take it and meet it in the middle. This is the bad side of your fabric. Not every fabric is going to be like this, so it doesn't really matter. But if your fabric has 2 different sides like mine does tonight, you're going to make sure that the bad side is facing up. Going to bring our corners together in the center, and then I'm just going to gather, and then I have a petal. So I'm going to take this and just stick it right here, and I'm going to do 1 twist. I'm going to secure it in 1 twist, okay? And two, what I'm noticing is that when I've put that Mod Podge, it's already starting to give it this a little shape, and that's even better. So again, it's up to you whether or not, that's pretty stiff, so I'm going to do this side here. And we're just going to put it on top of the one we just put down, okay? So I'm going to twist this, and then I'm going to flip it over, run my Chanel stems through the back side of the frame, and I'm going to twist. Remember, we always go forward into the wreath so that our petals will start sticking up like that. See, it's already taken shape. So again, I'm going to go to the next outer rim. So there's an Olfa cutter with a pinking edge. That's neat. I might have to check that out. Here we go. So can you see that? So I'm going to put this here. And then do another one. Even though this has the crease in it, I didn't even iron it because I felt like by the time I put this together, you're not going to see it. So we're going to put one here. Okay, and so we're going to, again, we're just going to bring our Chanel stems underneath, and I'm going to secure them. I'm going to twist, give it a good twist, okay? So here's what we're going to do. So instead of going to the next spot, what I tend to do is I work my way back and then forward and then back and then forward. And basically, essentially doing the middle section, and then I'll do this section, and then I'll do the middle section, and then I'll do the inside. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to put 2 of our petals, and as you can see, I'm putting it underneath the 2 right there, and I'm just going to do one little quick twist, okay? And we're going to do the same thing we've done with the other. Oh, that was the good side. And really, the pretty thing about this is I could have done either side, really. So, you guys are sweet. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. So we're going to do one here. And then let's do another one on top of that one. So, I do have a sunflower tutorial on YouTube, and it shows you the technique of, you know, ruffling it up and everything. So it takes just a few minutes to watch that. But I think a lot of you already know this technique. It's pretty popular when it comes to flowers. Now, this isn't going to be a huge wreath, okay? This is going to be a smaller wreath. Let's see, it's probably going to be about 20 inches in diameter. So, if you want to do bigger, you can do the 12-inch. In the 12-inch frame, the only difference is that you, instead of 5 of these brackets, you'll have 6. So you just need to increase your petals up to that amount. So the 5 is basically 10 on the outside, 10 on the middle side, and 10 on the inside. So if it was a 12-inch, you would just do 12, 12, and 12. And you could even do a bigger one and follow the, remember how I took the pipe cleaners and worked my way inside the frame? You could do that to make a smaller center. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to see if it's coming up on camera. Can you show a close-up of putting the Chanel stem? Yes, I will, Elizabeth. I will show you the next one. Do you want to know? I'm assuming you want to know about the outside. So, okay, so I did the outside, so now I'm going to go back and do the middle. So, when I do the middle, I hope you can see this here, I put the Chanel stem in between the 2 middle brackets. And then I just do a little tie. And then I get my fabric ready to add some more. And again, this is so different. I'm used to working with burlap, and poly burlap is what I work with primarily. So we're going to just twist that. Okay. So in the fabric, you have to shape it a little bit as you go. This is with fabric. This is with the clearance bolts at the fabric store that I found. And that's what's nice about this particular flower, is that you can make something, and everybody has, how many of you have leftover fabric at home? I mean, really, we all have leftover fabric thinking, oh, I'm going to use that for that project, and we never get to it. I'm telling you, I have so much fabric for curtains I'm going to make, and I never get to it. Okay, so we're going to go and do our first inside ring, which is this ring right here. Okay, you see the bracket there? That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take my Chanel stem, and I'm going to run it through. Okay, let's see if you can see this. Kind of feel like the lighting's not as good as last time. Do you see where I put the Chanel stem on that bracket? That's what's going to be our inside petal, right there. Okay, the squares are 10-inch by 10-inch. And so we're going to just do one, and then we're going to do a second one. And it's going to start taking on the form of a wreath here. Once I'm done with this part, of course we're not going to do it tonight because I'm not going to get up and leave y'all. You will spray your wreath with this. It's Rust-Oleum Matte Clear Spray. And what this will do, it will stiffen up your petals on your wreath. So I guess I should maybe do it like this. I'm not really sure which angle I have tonight, so I apologize for that. you know, you sit here and you plan, and then you're like in a hurry at the end there. If you are not a member of my Wreath Creators and More group, the link is at the top of this page. Join our group and share your crafts and your wreaths or anything crafty. So what I did was I just secured it underneath and just twisted it to the frame. So now that I've done this, I'm going to go and I'm going to do this outside, and then we're going to go back and do the middle, and then we're going to do the inside. So you'll see me do the whole thing tonight. Last time I had the wreath halfway made, just because it was such a big wreath. Okay, I want to show this because somebody asked me to. So here's the outside frame, okay? So I put one chenille stem on the right side of the bracket, and then I loop the other chenille stem on the left side, and then I loop it so that it won't move around. So here we go. I'm sitting here talking up to my phone, and I'm not sure why I'm doing that when I can just talk to the wreath, I guess. But this is how I teach. I have other tutorials. I have YouTube tutorials. I just put out another one. I just put out the one for the center tonight. I just put out a new YouTube tutorial on that one. So if you don't really catch it all tonight, you can go back and watch that tutorial. Okay, so here we're going to just twist this. And again, we always go forward with our stems, and we're going to twist. So yes, a lot of fabric. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be in a different country, and everybody's got some fabric. So I just wanted to kind of give you an option of doing something a little different. So we're going to go to this middle section here and put 2 more here. I know this is a little monotonous. You guys are great for sticking with me here. So I see Michelle is watching. Hi, Michelle. I am going to do, I asked you all, I think it was last week, I asked if you wanted a fabric wreath or you wanted that burlap with the plaid with the different colors. And I think I'm going to do that next time I do a live. And I'm either going to do the live either Thursday night or probably next Tuesday night. I have to really plan these ahead of time. So we're getting this done. Okay, now we're gonna go back and do, there's a center bracket right here that we need to do. So, and when I'm done, I'll clip all these and make them a little bit neater. So, anyways. I think that you could just, you could do contrasting fabrics. You could do like coordinating fabrics. I mean, if you're a quilter, and I know you quilters have a lot of fabric. You probably have a closet full of fabric, let's be honest, right? And think about all the gifts that you could make. And then if you crochet, how much yarn do you have at home? To just waiting to be done something with, So, okay. So I have this one, so I'm going to connect this inside on the inside of my frame where I just put the chenille stem through. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to just put it through the wreath frame, and I'm going to twist it. Okay. So, now the nice thing about this is that when you get to lay in this, when you take it out to spray it outside, you can spray it, and then you can like reposition your petals a little bit more too, which is kind of nice. So here we go. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. But I just want to give you other options. We sometimes, we don't have a lot of money to make something pretty for somebody or a gift or something for our own door. But I just want to come up with new ways to make this wreath. And so just think outside of the box. What do you have at home that you could use to maybe make a different kind of a center? Or I'm going to go forward, and we're just going to tie this to it. What do you have at home that you can make something? It's always thinking outside of the box and getting different ideas. That's what I like to do. I like to think, well, what's out there that hasn't been done, you know? So here we go. I'm going to put another one together. So this is the middle. So as you can see, we've done all the outside sections. So now we have like 3 more spaces to do, and then we're going to work on the center for this. It doesn't take a long time at all. And then once we get everything around, we'll like situate some of this and be able to move it around. Because this petal is bugging me. It's getting in my way. But anyways, I haven't worked with this fabric, but like I said, the other fabric that I used, it didn't fray hardly at all. So that was what's kind of neat. And if you, you know, you could try, what is it, patio fabric? What is that stuff called that you put on your patio furniture? And you know, it's like $10 a yard, and it's expensive. What I would do, it's a stiffer fabric, and I would get that, and I would use my coupon on one cut and get 40% off. This is a polyester blend fabric that I'm using tonight. Again, I don't know if you, in the beginning, I talked about how I've loved this fabric that I've seen for like 6 months. And it was on the clearance rack, and I said, let's give it a try. So, and y'all liked the live I did, so we went ahead and we're giving it a try tonight. And my throat and my voice is going out on me already. So please be patient. Now you can see here I have a little bit of a fray here, but I will just trim that up. So I went back and I did the middle section. So let's see what's left. Okay, so I have a middle section here, and then the 2 inside brackets, and we're going to do those, okay? So we're going to do that. And then we can move on to the center. So, yes, 10-inch by 10-inch squares. That seems to be the best size for your flowers. If you had a stiffer fabric, you could even do maybe a 12-inch by 12-inch square. But 10-inch by 10-inch seems to be a really good size. You could do this with poly burlap. You could do this with paper mesh. You could do this with deco mesh. With the deco mesh, you will have to use a lot more than what we're using because that's so much thinner of a product. So I'm going to twist this. Who can do daytime lives? I wanted to ask you that question too. Is that something that y'all can do, or would you just watch it later? Sometimes the night times aren't always the best for me, but we can make it work. And during the day is when I work on wreaths. I do this full time. I make wreaths almost every single day. Tomorrow I'm filming another tutorial. Could you put a vase in the middle? I think so. Sure, why not? You could put something different, a candle, you know, what would it be called? Like a straight vase, and then put a candle in it and put some pretty crystals in it or something. Oh yeah. Again, I don't know that this is an outside wreath. I mean, if you put it in between your storm door and your regular door, I think it would be fine. But I don't think, even after you spray this wreath, you would want it to get wet. Canton, Ohio, Patty. I used to live in Seville, Ohio, years ago. So I know right where Canton is. Okay, so let's look here. As you can see, we have one more spot that we haven't put our petals. So we're going to put our petals right there. So I'm going to do this. And again, it's looking a little messy, but we'll fix that. Don't worry. Okay. Yes, you can always watch the replay if we do a live during the day. Yes. Hi, Pat. You've been to Seville. Yep, I've been there. Anyways, okay. All right, our last petal. I'm going to put it right here, and then we're going to start on our middle, okay? So, this feels heavier than this other wreath that I made, but again, I think it's the fabric. I really do. So, here we go. Okay, so we have all of our petals in, okay? So what I'm going to do now, again, I will spray this when I'm done, but what we're going to do now, I don't know if you can see that, so we've got that done, okay? So what I did is I started the process earlier today because I don't want to keep you here all night. Again, I started the process earlier today, and I have a YouTube video, and I will put the link to the YouTube video in the top part of where the supplies and everything you need for this. So as you can see, you just take a piece of plastic canvas is what I call it. Do you guys call it something else? This is what I did, okay? I took a piece of plastic canvas, and I put my 10-inch wreath form over it. I drew a circle on the inside, and I cut that out. That's all I did, okay? So what do you call this? Plastic canvas. That's what it says on here. So, yes, the outside furniture is more of a canvas, and that would be pretty stiff to use as well. So, what you're going to do to get this look, and you can use this with natural jute tubing, flex tubing is great, and the Dollar Tree will carry this. I know Dollar Tree has flex tubing right now in their Easter section, and you can get it for $1 a package. I think it's maybe 20 yards for $1, which is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand out, okay, and we're going to wrap it. Now I'm going to hold my hand pretty close to where I already zip tied it, okay, and I'm going to wrap my hand about 7 times. Maybe more, doesn't matter. So I'm going to get a good enough wrap around my hand, and I'm going to slide it off my hand, and I'm going to grab the middle, okay? And I'm going to find a spot, and I think right here is really good. Try not to get this, okay, sorry, I got that out of the frame. So I'm going to take one of my zip ties here, and I'm going to go through the bottom of the canvas, okay? I'm going to come up, and I'm going to go over the middle of that looped yarn in my hand. And then I'm just going to secure my zip tie. All right. Michelle, the fabric is just a polyester blend that I used. Okay, so here we've got one thing here, and you can see too, and when I put this down, what that's going to look like. So we don't, it almost feels like we don't need as much over here because this feels like a thicker fabric than the other one I did. I'm going to show, if you came late to the game here, this is the other one I've done. And I'm going to show you this so that you can see it. But this fabric, I didn't even have to put Mod Podge on the edges. It did not fray at all. So, now we're going to keep, I'm going to keep my hand pretty close. Do you see how close I am? Okay, I'm going to keep it close, and I'm just going to wrap my hand. Just make sure you have enough to make a good, you know, some good loops. And you want the remainder to go out from your hand. I'm going to grab it off my hand in the middle, and I'm just going to put it right down in here. And just secure it. So I'm going to come up over that part. And again, I have this on my YouTube. So if you want a little bit more detailed instructions, that's the video to watch. Okay? And again, the fabric, the wreath, I did my sunflower tutorial, basically. So we're going to use this. I'm going to pull some more out here. And now I'm just going to go around this way to finish it off. And what I liked about the yarn is it looks so soft, and it feels like a blanket, you know, it looks like a blanket. Now, when you spray it, make sure that when you spray it with this spray, I'm not sure if I'm getting that right on camera for you, that you don't spray the middle, okay? Just spray the outside first, and then you're going to attach the middle. So we're going to put this down on the canvas. I'm getting this out of the picture, I'm sorry. Again, take a zip tie. If you don't have zip ties, invest in zip ties. Go to eBay. I know some of you might have a store called Ollie's, and if you do, this is where I get my 4-inch zip ties. It's amazing. It's like 99 cents, and I get 100 of them. And again, I'm losing my voice, so I apologize. So, yes, the center is very easy to do. I'm going to take a drink, guys. Sorry. The center, I think, looks harder than it is. It's really not that hard. And anybody can do this. Okay. Again, I keep pretty close to the center, and I'm going to just keep wrapping my hand. And I get it in the middle. And I'm going to secure it with a zip tie. And we are almost done with this. So if you haven't shared this, if you share it on your timeline, then you can come back to it and you have it. If you've already shared it, thank you. I appreciate it so much. I would love to hear some ideas of what you'd like me to do next. I do have some videos that, or tutorials that I do sell for some of my premium wreaths that are very unique and different. And I also have Facebook groups for those too. So if you want to check out my Etsy shop, it's julieswreathboutique.etsy.com. Or just go to my Facebook page. Oh, can you believe that? There is a, can you see that? There is a, okay, so we're going to fix this. We're going to show you how to fix this, guys. We're just going to cut that, okay? There's a little knot in the middle of the yarn, okay? That's okay. So we have a little bit of a smaller loop, and we're just going to attach that. I'm sorry if you can't see that right now. And then, and really I think I only need one more loop, and I think we'll be good. So that always happens. You know, when you buy the ribbon and then halfway through the ribbon it's cut and they tape it together, like that's going to help. So I don't know, maybe we'll look at this. Maybe this is done. I don't know. Yeah, I think I want to put one more right here. So I'm going to cut this off and just show you what I do at the very beginning, which is just do the same process. Okay? So we're just going to put it right here just to give this a little bit of a rounded. And you start in the middle and you just work your way throughout it, okay? It's really easy. So, yes, or I get my poly burlap and I open it in the middle, it's totally cut and messed up. So, yeah, it happens. That's okay. We learn to deal and we move on, right? So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to cut the remainder of these zip ties off. And then I'm going to show you how to attach it to your wreath. So we're going to turn it over. I wish you guys could feel it. It is so soft. I love the way this feels. So how do we put this on our wreath, okay? I've got 2 zip ties. They're 8-inch. I'm going to, and again, you can even, let's cut off a little bit of this extra canvas just to make sure that this does not show through. Would not want this to show through on our wreath after all this work. So Okay, so we're going to run it through here, one side and on the opposite side. So, let's move everything out of the way. Bring our wreath back to the center here, and I'm just going to take this and I'm going to pull those in, and I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to, okay, kind of push it down. I'm pulling out my petals so that this will get situated just the right way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to this and I'm going to flip it over. Okay? Again, I got to clean up all these chenille stems. What do you guys call it? Chenille stems or pipe cleaners? I'm curious to know. My husband always thinks it's funny when I call it chenille stems. But, you know, that's okay. He's a man. So I'm going to secure it on this side. Okay, let's flip it over and let's fluff this thing up. Okay, I'm going to move this over a little bit. And as you can see, when you put down the middle, it starts to help those center petals take shape. And again, you got to go through and you have to fluff this up. Okay, you gotta go through and separate your petals. Now, what I'll do is I will take the center out and I will spray this with the Rust-Oleum spray first. I don't know if I should do it this way. Yeah, this way. I will spray it with this first, and then I would add the center. But because of time, we're going to just show you this so that you can see the finished product. Again, I'm just kind of pulling out, if you can see. And you got to do this with any sunflower, any flower you do. You got to separate your petals. And I think you're getting the gist of it now. And that is, I think I tied this one a little too tight on this end, but that's okay. And then when you go and you spray it, what I've noticed is I'll spray it once, and then you can like adjust your petals. And because it's a little stiffer, you'll be able to kind of position them. And again, if you have any little frays, just go over it and just trim them up. But I think that this turned out pretty, and I really like it. I might just keep this for myself and put it in my bedroom. I don't know. I don't usually get to keep wreaths. Do you get to keep any of your wreaths? So, if anything, thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and I would love to see your fabric wreaths. If you're not a part of Wreath Creators and More, join, and that's a good place to share your talent. Would love to have you come back for the next live. And wherever you are, stay warm and be safe, and we will see you next time. Thanks for coming.